Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I feel like I look really strange looking at me in the camera when I have no makeup on. I've never done this before. Like normally I see myself when the makeup is finished in the camera. So this is new. It's strange. And I'm sure you're looking at me like, who is this person? I don't normally look this bad. I do have some skin issues, as you can see. Not sure what it is, could be hormones. Everything normally with me is hormone related. So what we're going to do is we're just going to sit and do our makeup, I think is the plan. I do wear glasses. I am blind without my glasses. So I will be holding the mirror in positions that might be a little bit awkward. And I'm really sorry if you can't see anything. If you really cannot see anything, then this will never see the light of day. So I feel like we can talk about doing our makeup and stuff. I'm just going to take my ring off. And what primer do I want to use today? I'm going to use this for my primer. This is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. And it is my use up for this year. I'm probably not going to do that, let's face it. I never do anything that I plan to do. So how is everyone? I hope you're all well. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, to those of you who celebrate. Celebrate? Is that the right word? Celebrate Thanksgiving? I guess it's kind of a weird one. Do you celebrate Thanksgiving? Because it's kind of a celebration of some bad things that happened. Or do you... I mean, like us, with our Guy Fawkes, yeah, it was a bad thing that he tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament, but we celebrate that the king didn't die in that incident, so that kind of is a celebration. So is it kind of the same thing for you? Like, do you celebrate the coming together of two houses, or do you consider it a warning of this is what could happen if worlds collide kind of a thing? I'd be interested to know. Like, we never did anything American history in school. Nothing. And I'm really disappointed about that because I would have loved to learn about American history. And I believe that you guys, when you go to school, you have to learn all the different kinds of history, right? At least that was my understanding of the whole. I'm just going to wipe my hands. I have nothing to wipe my hands on. Okay, I'm back. So I washed my hands, I wet my beauty blenders, and I closed the inside curtain thing. Just so that you weren't looking outside and it was really dark. And the sun is setting right now. So it would just gradually get darker and darker throughout this video. So yeah, tell me about Thanksgiving, educate me. And I hope that I'm not offending anyone by what I've said. It's purely out of ignorance and not knowing what it truly means to people and what... I mean, I kind of get the whole concept. I know some, but I don't really know in terms of modernization what it means to celebrate Thanksgiving. So normally I do my eyes first. So this is the part that you might not see. I'm just gonna go for it and then we'll find out at the end of this video whether or not it worked or not. If I bring the mirror to me, that might work a bit better. Have you guys finished your Christmas shopping? Have you even started your Christmas shopping? Normally, every year, I buy my Christmas presents early. So that when it comes to December, I've got all my Christmas presents and I don't need to go Christmas shopping and it's all done and all I need to do is wrap it and gift it. But this year, for some reason, I didn't do that. And it's been the worst year that I've ever encountered. Because not only am I rushing to get Christmas shopping done, but I'm also... because, I mean, we don't have much longer left. It's like, what? Less than 6 weeks? If that? I'm not... that was like super fast math in my head. I wasn't like... If I'm way out, it's because... oh, it's because I estimated and not because I'm really bad at math. Which, I'm actually quite good at math. But, like, the math that they teach you in school is not arithmetic math. It's algebra and formulas and stuff. Sorry, I'm just, Urban Decay Glide On Eye Pencil in Trick. I use it as my base right now. So yeah, so there's not long left until Christmas, and I've got maybe 2/3 of my Christmas presents done. But in previous years, and especially last year, by this time I'd done all my Christmas shopping and everything was wrapped, and the tree was up and all the presents were under the tree. And that's not even an exaggeration or a joke. This year has just been, I don't know, I feel like I'm not nearly as organised as I have been in previous years. Which, it's kind of given me anxiety, because now I'm panicking that, one, I won't get anything done, and also, two, that I'm buying a load of stuff all at once, and where's the money going to come from if I'm buying it all at once, you know, that kind of thing. So I'm going with the W7 Up in Smoke palette, and I'm using this white eyeshadow just to set everything. What brush should I use? I'm going to go in with the Spectrum CO6. It was working when I was bringing your hair, wasn't it? Not that close, Claire. That was violent. And another thing about the whole thing is I hate, cannot stand shopping at this time of year. Like, it's cold outside, so they put the heaters on full blast, and then the shops are packed with people, and you just think, how are people supposed to breathe in this? It's the worst. Like, you get so hot that you end up either feeling faint or taking all your clothes off. Not all your clothes off, but you know what I mean. Just to make yourself comfortable, to be pushed around by a load of people because they want to get to the counter before you. And it just, I hate it. It's the worst. And I avoid it at all costs if I can. Sorry. This is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. I'm just going in with the shade Nougat. No, that's not Nougat. Georgia as my transition. Am I the only one that feels that way about shopping? Like, I used to love shopping. When I was a teenager, I used to love shopping. But then I guess I still do kind of love shopping, but I hate the experience of being in the shops. Even now, even when it's quieter and there's less people, I'm just like, can I really be bothered? I'd much rather buy everything online. I wish you could try stuff online. Like, I wish you could input your measurements to some algorithm thing, and then this third-party website or whatever would then tell you which shops you can shop in for the best for your size, you know? And that would help all kinds of figures, like the petite ladies would know what shops do petite clothes, and bigger ladies would know what shops do big clothes. That brush is not clean. Okay, so for my lid, I'm going to go in with the Tease in Apricot Sheen. I got this in a glossy box. I normally always do my lid colour first because I cannot see what I'm doing. I normally do my lid colour first because I find that if you do the outer part first and the crease first and you bring it down too far, it muddles with the lid colour. Whereas the way I do it is you have your lid colour first and then you can use the outer corner and the crease colour to blend in with the lid rather than trying to bring out the pop of the lid once you've dulled everything by putting the crease colours down first. So I'm just going to pack that on with my brush. What was I saying? We were talking about shopping. Yeah. Oh yeah. I wish that you could like put your figures into an algorithm and it would tell you what websites are best for you and what clothing companies are best for you, and then you could shop in the best shops and you don't have to go around like 20 shops looking for a top that fits you because nobody does clothes that are in your size and stuff. But not only that, is you could also do it with like underwear and things. Do you know, when I was looking for bras, and you know how you could, the bras, the cup size is like dependent on the difference between the bust and the under bust or something like that. And there should be like an app where you can put in your measurements that you take yourself with a tape measure and it adjusts for human error and it tells you your bra size based on that. You don't have to do the calculations. You don't have to go in and take your top off for some woman who has... I tell you, those people who have that job, their only training is what I've just told you, that the cup size is equal to whatever the difference is between... I'm sure it's like the bust and the under bust. Like across where the nipple is and underneath. That's the difference between the two is like the cup size or something. I could be horribly wrong, and I could be, because they do the top of the breast as well, don't they? So it could be the difference between there and there. Anyway, it's the difference between something makes the cup size. And that took me like 30 seconds of looking it up on the internet. And when you go into somewhere like Victoria's Secret and they're like, oh, have your bra professionally fitted, they have exactly the same knowledge. That's it. That's all they do. So, and to be fair, when I've been fitted poorly. Like, especially at Victoria's Secret. I only shop for my bras in one place now. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, shopping. So, you would enter your clothing size, and it would tell you, like, what shops you can shop in, and they'd have an online store as well. So you'd never have to try anything on. All you would do is put in your details and you would get like perfect fitting clothes from your, like, you'd take like hundreds of measurements and you put in all those in and they would send you like perfectly fitted clothes. So you'd never have to try anything on. You wouldn't have to like, oh, these trousers weren't made correctly, so you have to go one size up in... I go into some shops and I pick up 3 pairs of jeans, all in the same size, just in 3 different colours. All the same style as well. And one of them will be too big, one of them will be too small, and one of them will fit just right. None of that will ever happen again, because they'll make the clothes to fit the measurements that you inputted into the thing. I think I'm onto something. What do you guys think? Would you use a service like that? I mean, Bare Minerals are kind of doing it with their foundation app thing, which isn't available here yet. If they ever bring it here, I will try it, because I just want to see how, not accurate it is, but like, if I could find a colour that matches me perfectly, then that would be great. I'm a weird shade. because most shades of like fair with pink undertones are like super fair on me. But I don't have neutral or yellow undertones either. I definitely have pink undertones. So they need to make a fair with pink undertones too. You know, that's a little bit lighter than the fair with pink undertones, but not so dark that you're within the light to medium bracket. You're still in the fair bracket. And I thought that that's what Fenty was going to do, but it seems like I might be in between in Fenty shades as well. What I'm going to do in my crease, I'm going to put this one in my crease. This is the Sleek Vintage Romance palette. So I'm still looking for that perfect shade of foundation. And I mean, if it only comes in a natural finish, then I'm okay with it, because I can use a mattifying primer or a glowy primer depending on what I want for that day. I don't have to have it, or I could just have it natural and just look natural. Sorry, I'm not talking, I'm trying to concentrate. Has anyone seen the Bare Minerals service? Is it like a counter you go to? Do you have to go to a Bare Minerals store, or can you like go to a store that stocks Bare Minerals and then go to their counter? As I get more and more older, I have more and more respect for what my parents went through to provide for us, for me and my brother. In terms of, I just sat for 10 minutes complaining about the shopping experience, but they had to do that every single year because there was no online shopping. And yes, I'm that old. They had to do that every single year. And it's no surprise, really. My mum hates Christmas shopping now. She hates it. On the outer V, I'm going to use this shade, Charmed, I'm sure, from the Sweet Peach palette. And I'm just using the set. I haven't told you any of the brushes I've been using. So the one that I did after the primer, just spread it out onto my lid, is just a nondescript Amazon brush that I got. And then for the lid colour, I used the B eyeshadow brush. It's just a flat shader brush, and I have the Avon crease brush for my crease, and now I'm going to use it for the outer V. Another thing that really bugs me about retailers is, where do they get off charging you one price in store and then charging you a different price online? Or, and I've been caught out with this recently, and the only reason I haven't argued it is because it actually didn't work out for me, for my personal goal. But they'll say, oh, pre-order this item because it's limited stock and you want to pre-order it to make sure that you get it. and then you pre-order it at a set price, and then they either release it for a different price, or they release it on a special offer so you get a free something with it. But because you pre-ordered, you don't get the special price or the extra bit. You just get whatever you pre-ordered. So recently I pre-ordered something for Andrew for Christmas, and I'm not going to tell you what because he's going to watch this video. And I looked online for something else, and I saw that they had a deal going on this thing that I paid full price for by pre-ordering. Now, the only reason I didn't go back to the shop was because it wasn't that great a deal. But if it was a good deal, I would have been seriously pissed. Because what if I was going to buy those two things separately. It only worked out that I would have been saving like £4. But if it had been more of a thing than £4, then I would have been really pissed. Really, really pissed. But at least they delivered it, because the last thing that I pre-ordered didn't arrive. And we had to get our money back. That's another thing that really bugs me. It's like, if you're going to do a pre-order on a thing... Sorry, I had an eyelash in my eye. If you're going to do a pre-order on a thing, you know how many customers want your item. You know, because they've pre-ordered. They filled in a form that said that they wanted that item. So if you have 100 sheets that say, I want this item, then you know you've got 100 to either make or to provide for these people. Does it ever work out like that? So now I've done my lid, I'm going to do the rest of my face, and then we'll go back and do the lower lash line. I've lost my foundation, it's here. This is just the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. And I'm going to take one tiny little drop of the Primark PS My Perfect Colour Whitening Drops, because this is ever so slightly too dark for me. However, the one before this, in 110 Porcelain, was way too light. Way too light. And this is what I was saying to you earlier about how they need to make more foundation for like the in-between of the light shades, because the first light shade is too light and the second light shade is too dark. And I have this in every single foundation line. Every single one. Even Urban Decay, which is my current favourite foundation, I should be on a 0.5, because that one is for fair skin with pinky undertones. Right? Which I have. That's my skin. That is my skin, in one description. But when I was colour matched, and to be fair, she was right, the 0.5 is way too light. Way too light. But they don't do, and the one is, it's okay. It's a good, it's an okay match. It's not the best match in the world, but it's an okay match. But the one is for neutral undertones, I believe. But I don't have neutral undertones. And the next pink one up is, I don't think they do a 1.5. Or they might do a 1.5. It's either 1.5 if they do one. No, they don't do a 1.5 because I asked and she said no. Or they might do and she lied to me. Anyway. Sorry. I keep forgetting I need to turn to the side, I think. because otherwise I'm going to keep just putting the mirror up real close and you're not going to see anything. I think that Rihanna with Fenty did a great thing, because she might not have got it spot on, especially with the lighter shades. But what she did was she basically shook up the entire beauty industry and got everyone talking about how she was the first to be so inclusive with her foundation ranges, with her foundation shades. And I think that from now on, people are going to have to be really careful about what colours they bring out and whatnot, because otherwise they're going to end up with a lot of slack that they didn't match up to Huda or Fenty in terms of their colour range, and they're going to end up excluding a big portion of their market because people are very considerate about what they buy nowadays, and a lot of companies still don't understand that, and it really, I can't. How can you have a company and not understand how consumers work? I don't know. Am I being too critical? Maybe. But I've worked with customers like my whole working career. Even now that I'm in a different industry to how I was before, I'm still working with people. And I know what my people want, and I know how they want it, and I know when they want it. So why do other companies struggle? My concealer is the Naked Weightless Urban Decay thing. And I have told you this is way too dark for me. You'll see it now. Sorry, I've disappeared for a while. I just need to see. It's either too dark or too yellow, one of the two. And this is light neutral. And I'm going to go in with the teeny tiny Real Techniques sponge. That sponge that I used for my foundation, by the way, was an Avon one. And I quite like it. It's very, very dense. So if you like your sponges to be soft and squishy, you won't like it. But in terms of blending out my foundation, I quite like it because it's quite dense. It retains a lot of water, but it doesn't retain a lot of product. But because it retains a lot of water, it gives a more natural look to my foundation rather than it being too cakey. This concealer is so close to being done. Like, I'm going to chuck it out after this because it's so close to being done. I've even taken the stopper out and everything, and I've put it in the hot water so all the stuff come from the sides. And the coverage is not great on this concealer. I wonder what the new one will be like. Does anyone know about the release on that? Is it out yet? When is it coming out? Has anyone tried it? For those of you who shop at Sephora and get samples, because we don't get samples here. Hardly ever do we get samples here. Okay, that's done. Yeah, if you've tried a sample of the new Urban Decay concealer, let me know how it is. This is the Model Coat Instant Radiance Concealer. It's, again, too dark for me, but if we blend it out, it should be okay. Because we can get the Tarte Shape Tape here, but it's very expensive. And even if we buy it through QVC, it's still super expensive because the price on QVC plus shipping is literally exactly the same price as buying it from Tarte and paying for customs. So, don't really see, unless the next time I'm in Sephora I grab some, but who knows when that will be, because it's not like I plan out my whole year of, oh, I'm going to travel with work at this time. Normally they give me maybe a month or two's notice that I'm going to be, sorry. Normally they give me a month or two's notice that I'm going to be traveling. And that's it. So it's not like I can plan out to buy the Tarte Shape Tape because I'm going to be in Sephora at this time, on this day. But if the Urban Decay one is just as good as the Tarte Shape Tape one, then I will buy that over that every day. All day, every day. I love Urban Decay. I'd much prefer to give all my money to Urban Decay than try different brands that might not work out. Because even if it doesn't work out... See, even this concealer has a 0 coverage. This is going to crease like a mother, I swear. Okay. Concealer number 3. This one is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I am in the shade Chantilly. And I bet this one has no coverage too. Oh no, this one seems to be okay. Not sure why my dark circles are so bad today. Normally they're not this bad. I need to get some more of the Urban Decay colour correcting. I've been meaning to get that for, like, no joke, about 6 months. And I keep putting it off to get other things, like Christmas presents. And things that I actually need, like shampoos and shit. Okay. Oh. I'm then going to set that with the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I love this stuff. And I'm just going to take the sponge again and do it with the sponge. Because I find that if I do it with a brush, it gets really dry and creepy. Awesome. We are getting somewhere, at least. Sorry, I keep holding the mirror in the wrong place. This is the first time I've ever done this kind of a thing with the camera, so I apologize. Can you see that? Coverage on this foundation is not good, man. Another reason why I need a colour corrector. Right, I'm just going to put the NARS concealer back in its box. And there it shall remain until I'm ready to get you out all the time. Right, I've set everything. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, coverage. That's what we were talking about. That's why this is the NYX, I don't know, Above and Beyond Full Coverage Concealer. And I've just taken it on a shadow brush. Because I don't like... I had a concealer brush and I didn't like it. I had the Real Techniques one, and I just found it to be very... I don't know. It's not like it was... hard to use or anything. I just didn't like the, I guess, the material of the bristles. Because it was very reminiscent of like a flat foundation brush, but for concealer. And I hate flat foundation brushes. Maybe that's why I didn't like it. Okay. And I'm just going to sponge that out. And you can still see my acne. Great. Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere. I'm going to film some videos today. Okay. For bronzer, I have my Rimmel bronzer in bronze, the blush in bronze. I repressed this because I couldn't get my brush in anymore. So that's a sure way of knowing when it's nearly done, which is great because I've been using this bronzer for a hella long time. I can't wait until this is done and I can actually move on to a different bronzer. That'll be a great day. You'll know when I change my bronzer because I'll be like, I'll go crazy with it because I'll be like, yes, new bronzer. Okay. Now I'm just going to blend that out. It's all powdery now that I repressed it. My hair. Stop. Thank you. I need a bigger bronzer brush. I have one, it's just waiting to be cleaned. Okay. That is the bronzer blended, mostly. Take that up into my hairline a little bit. Okay, now we're done. Blush, I'm taking the, oh, that brush was just a non-named from Amazon. And for blush, I'm taking the Spectrum A05. It's just like an angled. It's not a kabuki because it's not dense enough to be a kabuki, but it's kind of that kind of a thing. It is a little bit dirty because I've not cleaned it yet. I generally clean my brushes, like my eye brushes I clean after every use. And then my other brushes, like my blush, my bronzer, my highlight, and my face brushes, if it's not had liquid foundation on, then I clean them once, maybe twice a week. Once, maybe twice a week, depending on how often I use them. So I think that's okay in terms of cleanliness. I am super paranoid about getting staph infections or septicemia and stuff because of broken skin and not clean brushes. Seriously, I would wear my contacts when I'm doing this, but I find it very hard to do my eye makeup with my contacts in because you put the shader brush on and it moves the contact around underneath your eye and then your eyes water and it's uncomfortable and it's just not a pleasant experience. Contact wearers, how do you prevent that from happening? Yeah, if you're a contact lens wearer or an eye doctor, let me know how you avoid the moving around when you're putting your makeup on. Is it something I'm doing? Are my eyes not? Are they too liquidy or something? Or am I pushing too hard with my brush? Let me know, because I'd be interested in trying different ways of doing this so that it's easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. So highlight, I always put liquid down first. I'm using the True Match Lumi by L'Oreal. And it's getting used to picking the mirror up instead of going down to the mirror. Normally, if I was doing this on my own, I would go down to the mirror. And I just put a bit on like that. And then I take the small Real Techniques, but I take a bit that's not got foundation on, like the corner there. And I just blend that out. I love a highlight. I love this highlight. Like, it's a shame that it's liquid and that the powder ones were no good because I love the shade of this. Does anyone know? It's the pinky one. let me know if you know of a dupe, like a powder dupe for it, because I'd be so interested in buying that. And of course I'm on my no-buy, but it would go on a Christmas list, or I'd get it with Christmas money or vouchers or something. I don't really have a priority list of things that I'll get if I don't get for Christmas. But I have an idea of things that I've always wanted. Like I'm just going in with highlight. This is the MUA Undress Your Skin in iridescent gold. And I'm using the Real Techniques setting brush. Yes. The Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. I saw it in the shops the other day, because the Debenhams where I am has its own Kat Von D counter, which the Debenhams where I used to live didn't have. We had to order it online if you wanted it. So I went in and I saw the Saint and Sinner palette in real life for the first time since it was released. I've seen it online and I've seen people swatch it, and I've had, Amanda has it, so I've seen people that I know and trust have it. But to me, it just does not appeal. And I thought that maybe it was if I saw it in person, it might spark something inside of me, and it just so totally didn't. So lower lash line then. First of all, I'm going to go back in with the Sleek palette and use the shade that we used in the crease. And for that, that's how blind I am. Like, I went to put my brush back in the thing and I missed. I've got this. It's just like I don't know what you would call that, a buffer, I guess. And it's from Hebe Professional. I got this in Poland, and it is the E06. And I'm just going to take some of that on the tip of it. And I'm going to go in to the lower lash line. Yeah, so I saw the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette, and it still didn't appeal to me. I looked at it, and I saw it, and I thought, what a weird palette. I mean, I know it's supposed to be like stained glass windows and things, and maybe it's my brain. Maybe I'm not artistic enough in my type of brain, because I have a very logical brain. But when I look at it, I don't get the stained glass window thing, and I don't get, the colours don't scream to me. I'm not like, oh my god, that's a gorgeous palette. Not like some palettes that I've seen. Like when I saw the Urban Decay Naked Heat, I was like, yes, I'm having that. And the Urban Decay Heavy Metals, I was like, yes, I'm having that. And then even the Too Faced Clover palette, when I first saw that, I was like, yes. I mean, the reviews haven't been that great, but I'll probably still get it. Just to see it for myself. Or I'll at least swatch it on in store. Because some of our Debenhams stores have Too Faced, like, a counter. At least the one by me does. Okay, so I took it up to like 3/4, not right up to the inner corner. And I'm going to take the peachy one, the little single, and I'm going to do that right up to the inner corner. But not in the inner corner, we'll use a different one for that. So I will be passing on the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette. And really, I look at all her palettes, and no disrespect to her, because I think she's a beautiful woman, and her art is incredible. Oh my god. Like, some of her packaging is so beautiful. Like, the Saint and Sinner palette. So beautiful. So I respect her as an artist, and I respect her as a makeup artist, and I respect her as a woman. But the contents of her palette, all of them, just don't appeal to me at all. The only one that's ever come close was the Mi Vida Loca palette. The remix, the really big one, the one that looked like a record case, that is the only one that's ever come close to. And the only reason I didn't get that one was because I didn't know that you could get, at that point we didn't have Kat Von D in the UK, in the Debenhams. And it was maybe 2 or 3 months after that we actually got Kat Von D. Because I think that around that time she began to get more and more popular in terms of her makeup and things. Okay, so that's that done. And then the last little bit for the eyes, I'm going to go back into the Too Faced Sweet Peach and use that dark brown, the Charmed I'm Sure, this one. And I'm just taking the same under a buffing brush, and I'm just going to take a teeny bit and just do the outer corner. And to be honest, she'll probably say to you, well, she wouldn't, okay, she probably would say to you that if she doesn't know me, what does it matter to her if I don't like the contents of her palette? She does it for her. And she does it for all those people that are artists and do see prettiness in the colours that she includes in her palette. And I was talking to Nora the other day, and I was saying to her that even her older palettes, the Chrysalis and the Monarch and the Shade and Lights and the new Shade and Light, the shimmery one, I don't see the appeal over the palettes. I mean, I see the appeal to some people because I know that there are different types of people and different types of people like different types of colours. So I understand it from that point of view. But I just don't... It doesn't do the same for me as it does for everyone else. Sorry, I shouldn't talk and rustle at the same time. I'm just looking for... I wanted to use a brown liner, but my brown liner isn't here. So we're going to have to use the black end for the Avon Colour Trend Romantic Eyes thing. For this one, I am going to lean in, so you'll not see me for like 2 seconds. I really need Kat Von D to do me a palette because I feel like I need to try her eyeshadow formula. Because everyone raves about it. But until she does a palette that I like the look of or I like the colours in, I'm not going to do it, because if it's a bad formula, well, not a bad formula, but you know what I mean, if it's a formula that I don't prefer, then I'd rather it be of colours that I'll use, and I'll try and make it work, rather than colours I won't use, and then we've got bad colours and bad formula. Okay, that's the eyeliner done. Am I making any sense? Like, am I just making no sense to anyone right now, and talking for the sake of talking? This is the Ciate Wonder Wand mascara. I love this mascara, but it's starting to dry up a little bit, which makes me sad because I don't want it to end. Am I pulling a weird face right now? Why is it that when people do mascara and eyeliner and things, and I include myself in this, what is it about the human brain that we can't talk and do mascara at the same time? Andrew was trying to talk to me the other day, and he could see that I was doing my makeup, and I got to the mascara part, and he was still talking to me, and he said something that required a response, and I was doing my makeup, and I couldn't talk, and I was in the middle of an eye, and I didn't want to stop, so I was just stood there, doing my mascara in silence, and he was just stood there waiting for me to respond, and then he's like, Claire, are you going to respond? And I'm like, hold on a minute. And then I finished what I was doing, and I was like, I responded to what he was saying, and he was like, well, you could have just said that. And I'm like, I was doing my makeup, leave me alone. Stop trying to talk to me while I'm doing my mascara. That makes him sound awful, like he's not awful or anything, like demanding or Why didn't you respond to me? He's not like that. It was just one of those things. Like, he was stood there waiting for me to respond, and I was just stood there practically ignoring him. For lips, I'm going to do the PS lip liner in some unknown colour. I'm going to put my glasses back on for this. Now that the eyes are... Oh, I need to do my brows. Right, I look like a clown with half a lip drawn on, but we'll do my brows quickly first. So I'm going to go in first with the Meech and Mia brow liner in 22. And I'm just going to draw in... I mean, my brows are quite full anyway, so I'm just going to draw in the bits that are missing. Like, just a little bit at the front there, make them even. I don't even need to do the other side, just that one side to make it look a little bit even. And then I just bring it down to a point, because I don't have a point, it just cuts off. And that's all I do. And that bit's missing as well. It's weird. Like, because I never plucked my eyebrows as a child, my parents were really weird about stuff. And they'll probably watch this and go, we weren't that bad, were we? And no, they weren't. I was, like, really lucky to have them as parents. But they were very strange about certain things. Like, I wasn't allowed to pluck my eyebrows, I wasn't allowed to shave my armpits or my legs. And then I got to, like... I can tell you what year I was in school, we can work out how old I was. It was year 8, so I would have been 13, 14. And I was being bullied really badly. And one of the things that I was being bullied for was not shaving, because I wasn't allowed to shave, because my parents didn't want me shaving. So I shaved with my dad. Sorry, Dad. With my dad's razor and no shaving foam or shaving cream, just dry razor, dry legs, dry armpits. I shaved because I was angry at the world for... No, I was angry at myself for being so unattractive and hairy that I just took the razor out of anger. And I mean, I know that's stupid now, but at the time, when you're a teenager, it's another thing you can't talk and do at the same time. I always fill in when I use a lip liner, because then when the lipstick wears off, there's a colour underneath. Yeah, the reason I said what I did about not being able to pluck my eyebrows or shave my armpits or anything is because, and the lipstick I'm going to use is the 630 Velvet Beige lipstick. I love this lipstick right now. Is that, I guess now I have them to thank for it, because a fuller brow is in, and I don't have to spend 20 minutes every day filling in a brow because I overplucked as a teenager, because I didn't get the opportunity to do that. I just said I was going to put my glasses on, and I still didn't. No, wait, before I put my glasses on, I'm going to set my face. Setting spray. I've got the Urban Decay All-Nighter. Okay. Yeah, so now that big brows are in, I'm in fashion for once in my life. I'm no longer that teenager that didn't shave. People actually draw their brows on to look like mine. So, sorry, I got wet on my neck from the spray and I didn't want my hair stuck in it. And there we are, that's the finished look. Sorry, I should have showed you my eyes. I'm really enjoying this eyeshadow. Really enjoying this eyeshadow. The lipstick colour looks really washed out on camera, but it's more pigmented in real life. Thank you for sitting through this with me. I'll probably see you in the next video in like 2 seconds or so, but thank you for joining me on this. I hope it was okay. I've just noticed the one brow is now further than the other. I need to fix that. Spoolie. Not really a spoolie, but never mind. Okay. So. Just gonna tidy that up a little bit. That's a little bit better. That's a little bit better. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it wasn't too weird with me taking my glasses off and putting them back on again. Let me know if the situation was okay for you. Please let me know if it wasn't, and I know then how to change things to make it better for you. Thank you so much for watching. I said that already. I'm going to stop saying that now. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.